What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out podcast. Another episode for us brothers geeking out and giving you our thoughts on what's happening in the movie, TV show, pop culture world. Give you some updates, some breaking news, some news we found through the week, and then give you our thoughts on real world issues and all that. And guys, as always, please check description if you don't want to hear. If you want to get straight to the Geek Out news, if you want to get straight to the news, check the description. The timestamps will be there. You have the flexibility to pick and choose where you want to go in the show and what you want to hear about on the show. But yeah, on that note, I'm joined by Kibbs. His camera's off at the moment. He's on daddy duties, preparing food, but you should be able to hear him. Kibla, what's happening?
What's happening, bro? You all right?
Good. All good, bro. Just busy week, tired. Just spent 3 hours on the car cleaning it as I do, as I'm obsessed and whatnot. Just busy week would work for me. Just very busy. I just had a lot of performance calls this week, so another 8 hours. 8 people, including myself, so extra 8 hours of calls this week on top of my usual. So just been very busy. I'm glad that it's over. It's been a busy week, man. I started a week off not feeling well at all. Actually, I think I had sunstroke, heat stroke.
Oh, damn.
Sunday I met Ahmad. He's in town. It was good to see him. Got a chance to
Yeah.
hang out with him and his father, Jodat.
Oh, cool. Yes, Jordan.
Yeah, man. He's one of the boys, actually. We were
Yeah.
just comfortable, chilling, talking and whatnot, man. So we went out to
Oh,
dinner the night before, and then the day after we went out and went to the beach at his hotel. And I actually didn't drink much that day. We didn't use any sunblock. I didn't have a hat on. I was just in the sun the whole day, like literally a deep Dubai 40-degree sun. And then like an hour after we were done, my body started feeling a bit weird. And then I was like, I don't feel right, man. By the end of the day, when I came home, my body was shivering, bro, like proper shivering.
oh.
And then I ordered food. I couldn't even eat it. You know, I was trying to watch the UFC. That wasn't working properly, so that was frustrating me. But I was just shivering. Everything was going really, really bad. I had to miss prayer, man. I couldn't even do Esha prayer. I couldn't do wudu or nothing. First time I missed prayer in a year, and I just bust night nurse. And I just got into bed and I shut down for like 14 hours. And then I just literally woke up in the morning to email my team saying, guys, I need to rest. Something's wrong. And then I slept for another 5 hours. And then I woke up, my body was still in pain, but the shivering was gone.
Yeah.
Just kind of done some research, and I think it was heat stroke, basically. It's one of the symptoms of heat stroke. It must be because it was so random. Just upset, you
Yeah.
know. It ruined the day, you know, ruined the beginning of the week, you know, and ruined my Sunday evening. I had, plans to go home or watch the UFC, eat some food. You know what I mean? Those sort of things before the week starts. And
Yeah.
just kind of ruined everything. And then Tuesday, I felt much better, but I took the day to rest before I go back into training and put my body through strain again. And then Wednesday is back to normal, you know, but I was just a little bit upset that happened randomly, but it is what it is. It's been a crazy week. Tomorrow I should be meeting up Ahmad again. So looking forward to that. So,
Cool.
you know, work during the day, and then just have an afternoon meeting, and it'll be a nice weekend this week, hopefully.
That's good. That's
But
good.
yeah,
That's good.
that's it, man. That's it. That's it from my side, really. That's the big updates, man. What about you? What's been going on with you?
Same thing, bro. Work through like quite a bit, man. It's been unusually a lot busier than usual. Like I thought calming down on some things would happen, but I feel like things have doubled up, bro. But yeah, other than that, really, well, I mean, positive stuff. Listen, man, Comic Con tomorrow, this weekend. We got the Batman '89 in concert, which I'm so looking forward to. And then we did Mad Max, so Furiosa we did. And then there was another screening that Ati went to. Hukio, is it Hukio? Haikyuu. I think it's Haikyuu. Haikyuu, the dumpster battles, which is an anime based on volleyball competitions, which was actually pretty good, she said. But we'll jump on Furiosa a little bit. It won't be a spoiler review for you guys, even though the embargo's lifted. It'd be more of a just to let you know what it's like. But that was awesome.
I haven't seen it either, so let's not even go there. But I'm planning to watch it on Sunday. If there's no plans for me, I'm gonna go watch on Sunday. So yeah, no spoiler reviews, but I need to get your thoughts. I would love to get your thoughts.
Yeah, no, definitely. What else, man? I feel like there's something else that's happened.
What else has happened for? I mean, we got
To be honest, bro,
news and
this
stuff to
week, I
talk
mean,
about.
we got loads of stuff out. Guys, make sure you check out the episode with Eric and Julia Leeward, who are the showrunners and writers for X-Men the animated series and consultants on X-Men '97, which is 100% on the Rotten Tomatoes and all them fresh, all them book websites. Probably the best thing that Marvel brought out this year. Well, since Phase 4, we found that. So that's on the channel, guys. Make sure you check out my Geek Out episode with Hijabi, who is a cosplayer streamer. We talk about her journey. We talk about her inspiring others that are in the same culture to that have love for all the stuff geeky. And it was a really good, humbling conversation, man. Like just to get to speak to somebody who has that much passion in why they do what they do, how they got into it, and and we still do it to this day now, bro, because there's not many people like us in that field. And I met this young little Bengali brother a couple of weeks ago at one of the screenings. I can't remember which one. His name's Rakib. And he was like, "Oh man, you guys are Bengali. I didn't know. It's amazing to see you guys there. And it's amazing to have people like us there representing pop culture, which is really delightful to hear, bro." So shout out to Rakib. He's a up and coming filmmaker. He's directed a few shorts. It's nice to. It's weird because I'm the. When everybody sees me, I'm like the eldest one there. They don't realize that. They think I'm the same age as them, which is a compliment. It is a compliment, but they see me and they like the excitement, and I'm a bit more. I am excited. I'm a bit more laid back. I am silly, but then they were like, "Oh mate, goddamn, you old man," because I tell them I got my kids, and like after the screenings, most people hang around. They talk about the film, bro. I'm trying to run and get my last train home. I'm like, boys, I got kids. I got to run. So like, shout out to all them people. A lot of people, man. A lot of love. We've been getting a lot of love recently, which is. It's unexplainable because you know what? Listen, bro, we have been censored. I look at the numbers and it's not amazing, but it's because we have a strong point to what we want to talk about, and I can't sit there and we can't sit there saying nothing about it. Which I think we have the responsibility to pass the message on when we have platforms like this. And the same thing I was telling, a lot of people are still silent to it. And listen, I'm not trying to catch nobody out. The one thing that has changed me over the past 7 months with the atrocities that are happening across the world has physically changed me, and it's changed my content as well. And I feel like we have a better response. We have the fun stuff, but I'm not going to lie and tell you, like my mental health's not great, and the way the country's run is not amazing, and what's happening across the world is not nice. I want us to be able to be responsible with the platform that we put out there and say, what, it's okay not to be okay, but these things do affect us in many ways. But yeah, that's the main thing with all the people that I've met so far and the episodes we got out. And guys, we've got so many episodes. So many episodes. So, you guys keep up with us. There's a handful of you which are absolutely amazing. So now shout out to everybody who checks in. It means the world. And yeah, we've got so much coming out. There's still more, man. Like next week we've got more, I think. Bro, the trailer for Beverly Hills Cop 4 came out and just got me excited and moist. And I don't know why it is. Like,
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet. I just saw the link and then we just got into this. I haven't even had a chance to see it, so I'm gonna watch it later.
Yeah, I've done my reactions. They're all over the channels, but
Wicked.
like I'm cosplaying as Axel Foley in for Comic Con on Saturday. So I've got the jacket, jeans, and I'm not gonna look nothing like him, but I just want to represent something that I love from the 80s. Because Beverly Hills Cop, bro, no matter what, it's still one of the great top movies of that era. And Eddie Murphy in his prime, he just absolutely smashed it, bro. And just, I don't know, it got me moist, man. And it's the nostalgia. Everybody's going to get me on nostalgia. The only thing I'm upset about is that why is it not out in cinema? Because it's a movie I would 100% supported in cinema.
For sure.
But yeah, so that's it. Yeah. So that's that. Other than that,
The love.
Daddy series, bro.
I think, I just wanted to touch on the love you're talking about we've been getting, man. I mean, considering we've been censored for a couple months now and what you call a shadow ban and whatnot, we're not reaching users outside of our subscription list. It's very rare now because of what we speak about and just our point of views on certain things. But yeah, the love has been amazing. I think like some of the shorts, I think your breaking news shorts are awesome. Some of the videos you've been doing these recent X-Men videos are really good, man. I personally think so. I'm not being biased. I mean, I really think that you take some time. The editing's great. It's very informative and it's short and digestible content. And it's interactive and they're easy to digest with a lot of good information. I think they're really good, man. I enjoy them, man.
No,
I know like it takes time. I know it takes time to edit, stuff like that. And I do shitty editing with the
Oh
podcast,
man, you've
about
done
clips.
good, bro. You've done good. You've done good. You've done really good, bro.
Well, I mean, look, I don't do anything great, but when I try to edit the podcast and put the images and try and find the images and try and find the right time to pop them in and whatnot, it takes time. Like, honestly, I timed myself last week, sorry. It takes nearly 3 hours, right? 3 hours to do it properly, then convert it and create the clips, then pull it up onto YouTube and then have them scheduled for the week. The whole process, beginning to end, takes about 3 hours. So, but I even understand. So yeah, that takes a long time. But I understand if you're trying to create a quick short with the editing that you do and the information that you put in, I could tell how long it could take. So, but I really enjoyed it, guys. Check them out. Check out little informative geek out clips. What would you call them? Knowledgeable.
Well, no, they're like 5 cool things. So because I'm going through the X-Men Fox universe, but yeah, before Deadpool and Wolverine comes out, which we'll touch base on, I was like, you know what, fuck it, let me go through these movies again. And I shouldn't have said that too loud. Let me go through these movies again. I watched X-Men 1 and 2 the other day. No, last week. The week before was X-Men, the first one, X-Men 2. And I just thought, you know what, I don't want to be bad on those movies. I want to be able to give a positive light on them, and so that's why I was like, let me read up on this and like find out things that people may not know about those movies. Now, X-Men 1, as you know, both of us two, back then when it came out, we messed the experience up because Dwayne bought it on a bootleg VHS, which was all red, and I was like, this movie is basic. And over the years I've watched it, and like, I can appreciate for what it's done at that time because that paved the way for all the stuff that we get now. But X2, like watching that last week, bro, I was like, oh my God, this is not bad of a movie. It's actually really good. And I was like, the more like I kind of pulled away from it because it didn't use the source material to its advantage. It actually did, bro. It did pull stuff from the comic books, but it's just still heavily biased to Wolverine being the main guy of the story. But bro, I watched The Last Stand yesterday, and I'm trying to put some good videos together for that one. So every week, hopefully, I'll bring some of that out for the short. So guys, make sure you check out on our Instagram and TikTok page. I am posting it on there. But X-Men 3, bro, is horrible, man.
I was just about to say, bro, I don't know how you're going through them because even with the first two, and I remember the second one was good. I enjoyed that one, and Future Past was good. I enjoyed that one, but I can't even get myself to watch them, to be honest with you. So I don't know how you're doing it. So I don't think I could. I would never be able to last the third one, and I won't be able to last the Apocalypse one. I won't even be able to pull them on. So I don't know how you're doing it, bro.
You know what, bro? Honestly, they're all right watches because this is where like the transition of where kind of Hugh Jackman starts to kind of look like Wolverine, but because his hair looked better in number 3 than it does in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Interesting. I've seen, you know what, yeah? I've seen some little edits that people have been doing with his hair in some of the pictures from Deadpool and Wolverine. And they still could have done better. I think people, basically his hair's a lot shorter, it looks a bit flat, it's got a little bit of pointiness and whatnot. It's fine. It looks like something out of Old Man Logan or whatnot. But but what do you call it? Some people have kind of like just put a bit more to it, and I think they could have done that, but yeah, I mean, even though, man, it's just those movies were, the only one I could watch actually is Logan. I could easily put that on and watch that again. That's the best one. And I think I will watch that one before Wolverine and Deadpool comes out.
Yeah, no, listen. Uh, Logan is a great film, bro. 100%. That's in my top 10 favorite movies, bro. That movie is amazing. And that made me earn more respect for Hugh Jackman because, as I said before, I never liked Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I never thought he looked the part and he's, had that 6 foot stature and but he just didn't have that. I don't know, man, that Wolverine thing that I've always loved in the comic books and the animation. But,
Yeah. Well,
I give him props and respects for that.
yeah, I mean, that was my big thing, that he was just too tall for the role and whatnot. And it just didn't, they didn't put him in a costume and all that sort of stuff. I always was just, I mean, I was young and dumb. I didn't know shit anyway. And I didn't really appreciate much things anyway back then. So, or appreciate for what they were. But, that was my thing. He was just too tall. He wasn't as stocky. He obviously, when he started making his own movies, he started getting very ripped and whatnot for the movies.
He got blunks, bro.
Yeah, so I give it to them for that. But yeah, no, now now I appreciate him so much as Wolverine. Like him and Deadpool in a movie, it's like it's one of going to be the biggest movie ever. I can't wait. So I love him as Wolverine. I still can't wait to see what the replacement will be. But just the fact that we get him back in for this movie is going to be absolutely awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. I really am. And I respect him as Wolverine. He done a great job. He put the effort in, considering all possibly the bullshit movies and the critics I don't know what the critics said about those movies, but me thinking the movies are basic, for example, and him probably getting criticized for being too tall, and comic book geeks like us will criticize shit. So considering he went through all of that and to becoming the Wolverine of our generation, like he's the only man the next person who becomes Wolverine has a hard job to
100%.
You know what I mean? Because you have to earn that. You have to earn what's it, 21 years that you play that character, something like that?
No, longer than that, bro. 25 plus.
25 years. You have to earn that. That's what he earned. And he's earned a lot of people's respect as Wolverine. So I think the next person coming on board, you need to do 25 years of work, man, to earn that.
Exactly.
But let's see. You never know.
Sorry about the sound effects, guys. My little one's playing up. Yeah.
But cool. We'll talk more about that in a bit. We got some news about that. Cool. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into some real world issues, guys. As always, please do skip this if you want to. Check the description if you don't want to hear our thoughts about this, but this is always something that we're going to talk about. This is the reason why we are shadow banned and whatnot, and it don't mean shit, because a lot of people have had bad things happen to them. College students are constantly being called Hamas supporters and protesting for Hamas were blatantly is they're freaking protesting for the innocent people of Palestine. I still don't get it. I still don't understand why mainstream media well, let's start off with this: free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo. Right?
Yep.
Start off with that first. That's what we're talking about. So free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo. So I was just gonna get into it. I don't know why mainstream media still try to keep push the narrative and the propaganda that they're Hamas supporters, when clearly they're out there saying free Gaza, save the Palestinians, stop killing children. But that's mainstream media propaganda, but they're losing. The propaganda's losing because of the internet. I'm just watching this amazing interview and speech by John Mersheimer. Again, another historian, Mersheimer, I think he's like a war historian. But man, he really breaks down this recent conflict. He's always done loads of things in the past about this, but he's recently broken down this recent conflict. And he's got this amazing book that I'm trying to get my hands on called the Israeli Lobby, which I need to get my hands on and whatnot, but everyone references it and whatnot. But the facts that he puts out there, on the fact that and this guy was from back in the Iraq war days and whatnot, telling them that they're going to lose, it's not going to work out, and the false narratives of weapon of mass destruction and whatnot. You wouldn't even believe this, bro. Before 9/11, before that, right? You wouldn't believe who that Yahoo in Israel was telling the US, because he would come over to the US and give them advice on the region and who and what regimes that they should attack, because those so-called regimes will be will question, or what's the word, are against the freedoms of the West and whatnot. You wouldn't believe it. One of them was Saddam Hussein. The other one was Bin Laden in Iraq. This is all before September 11th. And then what happened with September 11th was a tragedy happened and whatnot. But instead of going after the so-called groups that done it, Bin Laden and the Taliban and whatnot, what did they do? They had an excuse to go to Iraq. They made up all this bullshit about weapons of mass destruction, which the whole world knows now. It's facts. It's not even a conspiracy, it's facts. That was all lies. This Yahoo's been doing this from then. And he's been telling them from back then that they need to attack Iran. Nothing's ever happened with Iran. But just listening to this information, it's like, man, this goes back deep. And this Yahoo came in power and really stopped the Palestinians having their own state, because the Israeli president before, even though he, some of the deals they were working out wasn't good for the Palestinians, he had like some kind of peace treaty, in the sense that he was working towards, or he kind of promised the Palestinians will get their own state, we'll figure out the borders and all that sort of shit. And then this Yahoo comes on board, and this Yahoo basically, and there's footage and there's news articles on Israeli media and everything. So it's not even just propaganda media, it's Israeli media talking about this Yahoo coming on saying that he's happy that he sabotaged those negotiations. He sabotaged the two-state negotiations and the Palestinians having their own state. But there's so much history. Guys, check out John Mersheimer. The one I'm watching now specifically is called Why Israel is in Deep Trouble. John Mersheimer with Tom Switzer. Again, guys, with recent news, check out Breaking Point. Check out Mark Lamont Hill. Do check out loads of interviews from, again, John Mersheimer is one of them. What's his name? What have I got? Norman Finkelstein. Like, you got to check these things out. There's so much history. Even Bassem Youssef has been giving out a lot of history. Check those out. There's some positive things that happen. When I say positive things, man, that freaking the ICC have called for that Yahoo's freaking arrest, which is, bro, since the ICC was formed, I think it was 21 years ago. I think so. They have never called upon a Western, so-called Western. This guy, let's be real, he's not Middle Eastern, they're Western. Western leaders to be called for arrest warrants on them. So him and the deputy, the other terrorist, I didn't want to say the word, but the other guy in his department, and some Hamas leaders as well. The truth is, nobody gives a F about the Hamas. Like, whether you kill them, whether they get arrested, nobody really gives a fuck about them. This is all about the Palestinian people. Nobody gives a fuck about what happens to Hamas, honestly. Yes, there's some people out there that'll call them resistant fights and all that. But truly, for the general person, it's like, fuck them. I don't care about them. It's the innocent Palestinian people and innocent children we care about. But the fact that this Yahoo and this deputy, I can't remember this idiot's name, but they got, well, it's big news, whether they catch them or not, because of course the US will protect them. The US is already, they're already condemning the ICC and blah, blah, blah. Of course they will, they protect them. But the fact of the matter is, bro, it's a massive statement to the world that he is being called to be arrested. I think they put the request in. So I don't know if it's been official, but it's a statement regardless, man. And any country that follows the ICC, we're talking about, except the US, I don't think even the US are in it, but there's a couple of European ones in there. So this man can't travel. I believe, if I checked it right, there's like 170 countries in the world that follow the ICC law. So, someone like Putin, for example, he's been called for arrest in the ICC as well. Of course, the Americans supported that when that happened, but with this Yahoo, they're completely against it, considering the genocide and the genocidal words this idiot's put out there. But basically, this fool can't travel around the world. If a country really supports the ICC, I believe the UK does. So if he shows up in the UK and they don't arrest him, that's basically the UK giving the middle finger to the ICC, saying, you don't mean shit, which means the rest of the world, I could turn around and be like, well, you know what, fuck you, the ICC, you don't mean shit. So, Putin won't get arrested either. So there's a reason why, like, Putin didn't go to South Africa for the BRICS meeting, which is like the global South sort of I really don't. I need to understand more about this BRICS thing, but I think it's like the global South currency or the global South economy or whatnot. But basically, South Africa basically told him, listen, if you come here, we follow the ICC rules, so we're gonna have to arrest you, right? So this Yahoo and this other idiot, they can't travel the world, which is a great thing, but it's a massive statement. Also, a big statement that's happened. Norway, Spain, and Ireland have officially recognized Palestine as a state. And again, a massive statement to the world. And you know what's great? They're both, all three of them are European countries. Again, I've read that really it doesn't do anything like politically or whatnot. But what it is, it's a massive statement. It's a massive statement. And then John Mearsheimer talks about it. He goes, this is why, he goes, the reason why Israel's in trouble it's because of what they've done, and they'll never be forgiven about this because you can't hide this now. It's all over the internet. You can't hide it. World leaders are not just going to let it go, except the West and the US and whatnot. But this whole global South will never let it go, especially people like Russia and China and, South America, where, the US has constantly condemned and bombed and whatever and villainized. But when it comes to one of their own, so-called own, what their own actually really is, they have double standards. So we've seen this from the West. So it's a massive statement again, man, like that those countries are recognizing. I hope a lot more. I mean, look, really, in regards to recognizing them for the UN, the whole world does accept the Western countries, the US and whatnot, a couple of countries. But the more countries that jump on board, man, it's a statement. It's a massive statement, regardless of what Israel tries to do. They are the statement is being made by
they're stained.
world.
Yeah, they're stained, bro.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So some good, and when I say good news, I've been listening to loads of podcasts. Again, there's another guy, Noam Chomsky as well. No, Elan Pape. Sorry, Elan Pape wasn't Zateo. With Mehi, anyway, I forgot his surname. And he was talking about, let's not get excited. This is a great statement that these things are happening, but let's not think that anything's going to change because these freaking killers are still going to go in and kill as many as they can because that's what they are. But it's a statement to them. It's a statement that we're not supporting you from the global South. So, things are changing, man. I think the world is changing, and I hope. The whole thing is, I hope the killing stops, man, of innocent people. And I don't know, they're not going to be forgiven, but I'm glad there's going to be consequence. The arrest warrants need to go out, and that's a consequence in itself, saying that you're not getting away with it. And and all the shit you've done for 50 years or 75 years to the Palestinians, you're not getting away with it now because we've got an arrest warrant out for you in the world. And that's a massive statement that you're not getting away with this shit.
No, of course, bro. It's massive. Absolutely amazing. It's good news. It's good news. But for me, bro, and I said it to you a couple of months back, I just feel like it's all happening too late. We've lost so many people, bro. We're coming close to what, 40,000?
Yeah.
It's insane, bro. It's insane. And, I feel sorry for the innocent Israelis, the innocent Jewish people that have been protesting with us. For them, that's a lot, bro. For them, that's a lot. They will endure so much shit because of these Zionist regimist people, and they didn't realize they're gonna. Well, they don't really care because it was for them, but for the innocents, it's horrible. But it's horrible. They're gonna have. Well, the reason why they say they don't feel safe no more is even their own kind have put them to a side to do what they've done now. That this is in history now. And now that we've become more world aware about things, hey, man, don't do no bummy here, man. Now that they're more world aware about what's happening, that's it, man. They're done. It's done, son. It's done. You know what I mean? I keep remembering that scene from Boys in the Hood when he's like, you fucked up, right? You fucked up. You fucked up. Like, that always comes to my head when I see them yahoos. Like, it makes you think, like, how did you let it get to that point? To that point, not knowing what was going to happen.
Oh, you know what? That Yahoo and that whole right wing government there. They've been getting away with so much shit, especially under the radar, and because of propaganda media and whatnot. Man, it completely backfired. And I think Hamas, doing what they're doing, which is fucked up, right? You have to still think about it, right? When Piers Morgan, that Kant, keeps asking that question, do you condemn Hamas, right? Bro, that piece of shit, right? He keeps asking that same question. Like, that question should be broken up into two. This is my perspective, right?
Yeah.
He asked the question as a whole. So yes, you have to, because innocent people were killed. When innocent non-combatants were killed, you have to condemn that. And even in our religion, bro, it's against the religion. It's against the rules of war in our religion. So yes, you have to condemn that, right? But if he broke that question down into two and say, question A, do you condemn the killing of innocent people? Well, 100% yes, and it's against our religion as well. Question two, do you condemn the killing of the combatants? Was like, no, this is an occupied resistance fighting against an occupying force. So that's why they killed some of the combatants. They killed combatants and they fought against combatants. That's all right. Combatants against combatants. But when this fucking idiot, sorry, I'm going in on Pierce. He does sometimes do some good things and nail down on some of the Israeli government way. He does some good things, but I'm just cussing him for that. But he keeps asking the question as a whole. So when you ask the question as a whole, because there's innocent lives involved in that, the answer always has to be yes, and that's a fact. You have to. That's my opinion. And in according to our religion, that's our opinion. You have to say yes, of course, because innocent people were killed. But if you was to split that question in two, yes on the innocent part, no on the combatant part. That's my opinion and whatnot. But I don't know why I started that off. Where did that come from? But anyway, fuck Piers Morgan.
Bro, listen, I'm with you on that, because when I hear him say that, recently he got destroyed, though.
Oh yes, by that brother. What's his name, man?
He's a professor.
Yeah,
can't remember his name. Recently he got destroyed, and he didn't know what to say.
What's his name? Cornel West.
That's
and
it.
they destroyed him. You're racist and whatnot. He got done. But it's true. It's true, because he keeps following the mainstream bullshit, and he keeps like the protests. He kept on going out there and saying, "Oh, the Hamas protest, the pro-Hamas." That's not true. Yes, you can say there's a couple of idiots out there that are pro-Hamas and say death to America. Like, fuck those people. Don't associate those people with me, right? That's what not the protest is about. But he never reflects on the IDF. The pro Zionist people coming and causing trouble. He never reflects on any of that sort of stuff. And I'm just like, bro, that's why you got done, man. That's why you got cussed out and everything. So, but listen, man, the propaganda is not working because the internet, the media, social media, even though you get censored, it's out there, man. It's out there. They're never gonna be forgiven, man. That country is never gonna be forgiven. Hamas, maybe they knew, like, because I think they're dicks. Like, maybe their strategy was to let 50,000 people die, or they knew that Israel's going to come in hard. John Mearsheimer talks about Israel's always wanted to be known as, based on what they've always done in history, as you hit us, we're going to hit you harder, right? That's just facts that they've done. Mearsheimer talks about that, and maybe Hamas knew this, and I think what was happening, so this is what I've been learning or just listening to, this whole peace in the Middle East thing that Trump keeps boasting about. It wasn't really peace with Palestine. It was peace with the other regions. But it was like, fuck Palestine. Like, we'll make peace with the other regions and force them to kind of ignore Palestine. So it kind of shows peace. And then, that's why, Hamas and all these other countries and Iran, what's the other one? Iran and those, well, not Iran. I mean, Iran's kind of funds Hamas and all that sort of shit. But anyway, that's why they attacked, to kind of like be like, well, no, fuck that. We're not going to let you do peace with those countries and forget about us. But maybe they knew that Israel's going to come in strong. And then what's going to happen is the global sympathy will turn onto the Palestinians, right? Considering, okay, October 7th happened, but the history is going to come out, because there's no way you can hide the history. So yes, people want to start this from October 7th, but you got Mearsheimer's, you got Finkelstein's, you got everyone saying, well, Yes, but it started from 75 years ago, the occupation, the ethnic cleansing, all that sort of stuff. So, man, we're going through a change in history now. The US is getting synced into this, man. If they really wanted to be the world police, they're really sinking down, and Israel's taking them down with them. And when I say sinking down, they're just losing reputation in the world, man. They really are,
Oh yeah,
man.
definitely, without a
And
doubt, without a doubt.
yeah,
It's a joke. It's a joke.
yeah, it's a joke.
It's an absolute joke. I feel like ever since COVID, and I don't know if you've noticed it, that any government right now, if it's the States and the UK, it's like a carry on comedy show.
Mm.
And I don't know, man. I didn't, before I don't think I was clued up and understood the amount of I wasn't into politics. We were having fun. We were enjoying life. And as I've got older now and life stresses and everything else that kicks in, I realized, hold up, man. These guys are a bunch of joke, man. You've got in the UK at the moment, you've got general elections happening. You got dog shit, Richie Sunak, and then you got bird shit, Keir Starmer. I ain't voting for nobody, bro. You're gonna bring more shit to the people. So why am I gonna, vote for one of these idiots that don't really care about us, bro? Us people who actually we give them their payslip, basically. They're like the worst marketing team in the world, bro. They can't market themselves for shit, bro. All they do is they put money into all of these shitty campaigns, and we pay for it, and then we lose out. And it's weird because I was thinking about us, like, back in the day, people who started revolutions and had great leaders and great people to look at. We're not in those eras no more, man. We don't have heart like that no more because we're run down as the society and the way we've been, and we're kind of spoiled. I'm gonna say that I'm spoiled because I don't have to look after those bigger decisions because I'm like, I just want to look after my family. The people of the UK and the States have been worn down, bro. That's why nobody gives a shit about what happens now. They just want to get through their own everyday life, which is hard enough now. But that's our fault because if we stuck together and we pushed against them a little bit, I think policies would have changed. But we don't live in that era, bro.
Yeah, but also, man, it's kind of what you mentioned, bro. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up. Like when you're young, okay, cool, you're doing young, dumb, and whatever stuff, right? So you might not even follow it. But even now as an adult, think about your day to day. Think about your day to day, but you don't have time. You don't have time. And the ones that control the main things that you will see on TV is the mainstream media. So that's why you might just quickly see as something, oh, that's what it is. Cool. It's terrorist again. Oh, okay. It's Islamic terrorist again. Oh, okay, that's what it is. And ignore it. That's what it is, man. That's how they control most of the people. But let alone going and doing your own research, really looking into it, listening to be it podcasts or historical things. Bro, it's difficult. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's hard for us to keep in tune with what's going on. And this is one thing, bro. This is one thing. What about all the other shit that's going on in the world? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
I know.
So much going on. So this is one thing that we've been keeping in touch with. It's massive on news. Our algorithms are now giving us that content as well. We've learned from different people, learning different books. We're taking time and effort. But think about, you said general election. Start researching on all of their policy plans and whatnot. Who do you know? What do you about these elections and shit? I have no idea. Labor and this and that. No one's ever made it easy to be like, here's the good points of them, here's the bad points, here's the good points, here's the bad points, here's the like summarize it. Like you can read the good points and bad points and make a decision on what you like. It's difficult, man. So we don't have the time. There's no time. That's what it is. And I think that's programmed into us, man, to be like, don't worry, guys, you do your day-to-day. We got it covered. Don't worry. You know what I mean? Like they kind of pull it in that thing. And again, propaganda plays a big part of it in regards to control. Like I said, the news and all that sort of stuff. Hey, listen, this short little snippet on BBC News or whatever these bullshit mainstream medias will tell you, vote for this guy. He's the best. Like whatever it is, in the US, of course, you got all these, these news publications who will be like CNN, who will be like, Trump's a bad guy, don't vote for him. You know what I mean? So again, it's difficult to follow, bro. It's really difficult. We have our day to day, and it's never going to be easy.
Exactly, man. That is the hard part of it, man, and where we go from there.
Definitely. All right. Well, look, guys, let's move on, man. Like again, free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo. You know, guys, look into this stuff yourself if you have the time. You know, podcast is a great way. Again, Norman Finkelstein, John Mersheimer, Elon Pape. I'm talking. These are all Western. I don't know if they're all Jewish, but I know some of them are Jewish and whatnot. So I'm referencing them. Elon Pape, who's Noam Chomsky. I believe Elon Pape, Norman Finkelstein, and Noam Chomsky are all Jewish, right? So I'm saying them, like listen to them, right, and whatnot. But there's so many other people. There's Zateo, there's Breaking Points, there's Martin Lamont Hill. Like, if you want to do research, check those guys out. Podcasts, audio books, whatever it is. Yeah, don't listen to what we do. This is just our rant. Like, we're no fucking experts. So I'm just ranting about shit that we've heard. Go do your own research. But yes, all right. Well, in that case, let's move on to things we watch. Let's get into the Geek Out news. And normally I'll be geeking out and getting excited with a big smile on my face with X-Men 97, but there was none this week, unfortunately. So I watched some other stuff. I watched Kong versus Godzilla. Bro, I'm sorry, guys. The movie was so poor. So poor. Listen, man, I'm sorry if I sound mean, right? But I really wanted that little girl to get squashed. I was like, someone, Godzilla, please just misstep and squash her, please. Like, I found it so cringy that that little girl was the key to open up Mothra or whatever, for Mothra to come and tell Godzilla, hey, whoever the thing that moth thing is, bro, to come and tell that moth, hey, don't fight. There's a bigger threat. Like, do you know what? And all the humans in the movie were silly. None of them were lovable. They were all laughable. I mean, I'm sorry, man. Like, they were in there to be silly. So like I couldn't take none of them serious. So again, the humans destroyed this movie for me. But and I'm sorry, that little girl, I know she was serious anyway, but please, I wish someone squashed her. But bro, do you know what would have been a better movie, in my opinion? Cut out every part of the humans and every scenes with Godzilla and Kong, especially Godzilla, because I actually loved the part that Godzilla was preparing for something. I liked that. Going around energy and preparing side. And that, bro, I think if they just made a movie on that, maybe put some subtitles on him, thinking like, you know, some shit's going down, I need to go prepare. Same thing with Kong, he's gonna have to figure out shit, have subtitles with him, he meets the other thing, the other Kong Empire, whatever people, and just have a movie on that. And at the end, they team up and fight. And same with Mothra or the Moth thing. Have subtitles on that Moth thing to come out and say, guys, there's a threat. Bro, that would have been a much better movie. Instead, you got these stupid humans making stupid jokes and stupid things. And you got this little girl who's the core key of everything. And I'm just like, squish her, squish the humans, let the monsters do the movie. I was way more also, honestly, I was way more interested, obviously, in Godzilla and Kong, right? I was genuinely interested in Kong, Godzilla going around the world preparing, like getting nuclear energy, preparing for something. I love that. I would love to have just understood from his perspective, somehow, if they did it from his perspective, how did he know? What did he feel that was coming? And same with Godzilla and Kong, you know, finding some more of his people or whatever you want to call it. That was interesting, man, and just like seeing that you know, his apes or whatever were being controlled and whatnot. And he was almost like a hero to them. I'm like, that's a better story, man. That's a better fucking story. And Godzilla backing him up. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Instead, they put definitely. Every time the humans came on, I got on my phone. I was like, fuck this movie. This movie's basic. And when the monsters came back in, I started watching it because that was more entertaining. Even though the action was way more exaggerated, but I don't care. It was fun. That part was fun. The monster story was fun. I would have loved to seen more. I would have loved them to emphasize more on the monsters and their story rather than this bullshit humans. Anyway, that was my thoughts. I got some extra news on that apparently as well. The writer, let me pull up my phone, sorry. The where have I got it? The writer for Spider-Verse, David Callahma, is next to write the next Godzilla and Kong. So I don't know if that's going to make a difference or whatnot. I mean, the studios. I mean, this movie I think done great in the box office and whatnot.
It did.
And I think there's potential because it's fun, right, to see those monsters on the screen. And I think there's potential. You just got to remove the humans and this stupid, I don't know, this other new this indigenous culture in there and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, this guy making YouTube videos and this other doctor who all of a sudden who's an expert on these big monsters that can change a tooth, but he has a silly attitude as well. And I was like, this is stupid, man. Like. Anyway, but there's going to be a new writer. So that movie was basic, in my opinion. Started off bad. The other movie I actually watched, what is it called? Hold on, I got it here. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. And this was actually based on a true story. Guy Ritchie, Henry Cavill, Isa Gonzalez, Alan Richardson, who's a monstrous of a man, but he's such a beast. It's got Bob Osulamonakon. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name. It's got Till Switcher. It's got a good cast in it, put it that way. But it's actually
Guy
based
Ritchie,
on
man. Guy Ritchie, yeah.
Guy Ritchie, yeah, of course, and immediately like this movie reminded me of kind of like the Inglorious Bastards. Guy Ritchie, I've always said is like, in my opinion, like the UK version of Quentin Tarantino. But this is based on a true life event, a true life mission. I just want to quickly read this out. British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and a group of military officials hatched a daring plan to neutralize Hitler's fleet of German U-boats during World War II, made up of a motley crew of rogues and mavericks. The top secret combat unit used unconventional techniques to battle the Nazis and change the course of the war. So it was based on a true event, which was great. And obviously in true Guy Ritchie fashion, it was directed and filmed in a very absorbable, entertaining way. Henry Cavill is fantastic in it. But it was giving us a piece of history of World War II. And I think it was done really great. The dialogue was great. You got a bunch of misfits kind of doing this mission for Britain, which is always exciting. Again, it reminded me of the Inglorious Bastards and whatnot. I genuinely enjoyed it. I thought it was great. It was great movie. I don't know if you got a chance to see it.
No, I haven't. I wanted to see it. I mean, listen, man, you have a great cast like that. You have a great director. I just feel like it was marketed really badly. And, I feel for Mr. Henry Cavill, man. Like, the guy doesn't seem to catch a break. All of his movies don't even last that long in the cinema when he's got a leading role. I just feel like the industry is trying to get him or something. You know what I mean? But listen, it looks fun. So I will catch it when I get the chance. I will watch it, definitely.
Yeah, definitely watch it. It's definitely absorb. Like I say, because it's Guy Ritchie and the way he films it and the great cast, it's really easy to absorb. And because you're watching like a moment of history, and I don't know how accurate each thing is, but the plot of it is a moment of history. It's definitely a great watch and something good to learn and interesting for World War II and these British misfits, I guess. But what would you call them? Maverick, rogue, whatever, top secret mercenaries and whatnot. Great. Well, they all got, like I say, they got individual characters in it. It makes it fun. Great movie. I would say I would recommend it, man. I'll definitely recommend it. You know what? That's all I watched this week. I didn't really have time to watch things this week. It's so busy, like I mentioned earlier. Had so much going on. So didn't really have a chance. I'm gonna go watch Furiosa on Sunday, but you had the great opportunity to go watch it and as a screening. Tell us, man, non-spoiler thoughts, man. First reactions.
Furiosa. Oh my God. What did I say in my review? Hold on, let me pull this up because shout out to the guys at Warner Brothers UK for the invite and shout out for sharing my reaction as well. Where's it gone? First reaction. My first reaction was wow, bro. Wow. Like action at its best, bro. Like Fury Road. is amazing. Still one of my favorite films of all time. Furiosa is still up there, but great perform. You know what? Anya Johnson Taylor, is that? Did I say that name right? Hold up, man. Let me get this before I mess myself up, man. So look, listen, man. George Miller delivers a visually stunning mechanical thrill ride. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth shines with one of his best performances ever, bro.
Wow, interesting. Better than Thor.
Yeah. Yes.
Do you think? Hold on. Let me ask you a question here. If you was to take Thor: Love and Thunder out of it, would it still be his best? Because I wonder if that's ruining your decision.
No, that's not ruining my decision. I don't think Thor, and these people are going to get me for this, man. I don't think Thor was a great character in the first two movies. He's been great in the cameos in the Avengers after. And don't get me wrong, I actually love Thor Ragnarok. I think that's a brilliant movie. To this day, probably the best one out of the two that came out. I don't know, because when you get typecast in a role, you're always seen as that one-dimensional character, right? And that's the difficult part about signing a contract to 20 movies.
Yeah, that's true.
You see something different. It's like The Rock. Like, listen, bro, he's just going to play himself in most of his movies. But saying that, the other guys, he smashed it, bro. Even though he was in it for 5 minutes, he played a different character. And the one that shocked me the most was Jumanji 2 and 3, which he plays this kid that is in this other big person and still trying to battle his own demons to be confident in that character. Now, what Chris Hemsworth did in this, which I really enjoyed, was, yes, he had fun with this role, but it fitted that Mad Max universe, bro. It was absolutely sick, bro. This is a longer film, bro, and this film is different to Fury Road, but Anya Taylor-Joy, who plays Furiosa, young Furiosa, and you get the younger version as well. And she encapsulates the character really well, bro. Like, there's this mysteriousness of her from watching Fury Road to watching her beginning coming together, bro. George Miller gives us a grander scale of the wasteland as well. So good fun, bro. Good adrenaline rush. Good story, bro. Like, good storytelling. Like, my guy's 86 or 87 years old. To give me a good film with good story and a good action-packed extravaganza, like, he smashed it, bro. Like, he really knocked it out of the park for me, bro. Like, again, it's in my top favorite movies of this year. But it's an amazing, like, for me, I'm a visual guy, innit? So, when I watch Fury Road, and I watched that like 10 times in the cinema, I don't think anything in the past 2 decades we've got anything better than that.
Interesting. So Hideo Kojima, he mentioned that he preferred this one, even though he loved Fury Road. He wasn't even downplaying that. He was just saying that he thought this one was better. What do you think he was? It's hard to get into someone else's head. But do you think there was like stuff in there specifically where you're like, which captured him to be like, this one's better than Fury Road? Like, was it trying to answer the question and ask the question?
No, exactly. So you're seeing it from his view. He's looking at story and visuals, bro. He's looking at the grander scale of what George Miller has brought to the screen. He's brought us a whole new universe again, bro. Because if you watch Mad Max 1 to Fury Road, you really still don't know much about the wastelands and how big it is and how vast it is. This goes into that a little bit more. So we get a bit more mythos. So it's not much of a mystery, but it's grand, bro. Like, I keep saying this, yeah. I think, we've had superhero fatigue in the last couple of years because of how much the system was pumping it out till it kind of got to a point where it's like, oh my God, they're not rewatchable. Like Mad Max Fury Road, bro, I can slap that on, bro, moist all the way through. But there's some stuff that doesn't come out, doesn't have that rewatchability. And I feel like this year, cinema has brought us some great movies, bro. Dune Part 2, Furiosa, Warner Brothers getting up there in the box office. You got
Mm-hmm.
Monkey Man that came out recently. I haven't seen The Fall Guy. I need to see The Fall Guy. I did watch something in cinema recently, like, Boy Kills World, which was absolutely awesome. So I feel like giving all these other movies to breathe is really good.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, I mean, it's interesting because the mystery of not knowing anything has always been a fantastic thing. So the fact that they're taking away a bit of that mystery and give us a bit of a backstory is always challenging because you kind of ruin things sometimes. But it's great to know that even though we got this, it doesn't ruin the movie and it gives us a lot more, which is great. But yeah, I think you're right, and I think it's a good idea that the superhero movies are coming out, especially Marvel, because if the content was fantastic, there'll be no complaints. No complaints anyway. I'm watching it all, and I could be like, well, that was shit, But they lost so much in the box office, right? So the money talks because they were producing a lot. But I think it's great that they're not coming out with that many movies because yes, it gives other movies time to shine. Even though we would have watched them anyway. All these movies you mentioned, I would have gone to cinema and watched them anyway. But I like the fact that they haven't it's time to shine. I mean, the only one we're waiting for is Deadpool and Wolverine, really. I know there's a couple other Marvel ones coming out end of the year, the Sony universe, which has been totally garbage, in my opinion. I apologize, but I will go watch them anyway. I watch your garbage and waste my money on your garbage just because I'm a fan. But with the Marvel universe, I mean, what was it, right?
Yeah, with the Marvel Universe, I think that's what we're going to get. Daddy, I can't think of anything else. Yeah, with the Marvel Universe, we're just going to get Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine, which is cool. Yeah, I think that's it, bro. I think that's it.
Cool. Anything else you watched? Anything else?
No, I haven't had time to watch much TV, man. It's been full on every evening. And I just want to shout out to the guys at Crunchyroll. Atia got to go to a screening of, here we go, let's find out this anime, where's it gone? Yeah, Haikyuu, the dumpster battle, which is based on a volleyball team anime, which is a very most intense volleyball game that she's ever seen. Stunning visuals, an engaging story that kept her hooked, even for a newcomer that's just watched this and got into this universe. It's a movie that's coming out end of the month. It's very heartwarming and exciting. So that's one of the screeners she watched. And then what else, man? What was I doing? What was I doing? I was reading a book. I finished off The Art of War. I'm starting previously on X-Men, which is written by Eric and Julia, who's on our previous episode. Please, guys, make sure you check it out and show some love on that episode as well. Excuse me. But other than that, nothing else fresh. I can't think of anything else right now. I mean, the Beverly Hills Cop trailer just came out, so guys, check it out. Our reactions are on our social media. Let me just double check if there was anything else that we could have missed.
Yeah.
I just found out now the Beetlejuice new trailer has come out as well. G-Man, if you get the chance, do a reaction to that.
I will watch that, yeah, okay.
And then, let me see. Let me check out the Instagram's page. Let's see what else we've got. And no, you know what? Listen, bro, I think that's it.
So you watched?
Oh yeah, Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, it's on my break. It was on my news.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
let's go.
Let's go to the news then. Let's go to the news, guys. We'll start off with some Marvel MCU news, and then we'll go on to other movie news. So some MCU news, guys. Tickets to Deadpool and Wolverine tickets are out for cinema.
Boom.
I think that's in the US and UK and whatnot. I haven't seen anything here, so check it out. Buy your tickets. Apparently, it's broken records for this year, right? So I was wondering, has it broken records like in cinema history or in the last 10 years? For this year, it's breaking records. But amazing, exciting times. Can't wait for that. I've been seeing loads of interviews. I'm trying to avoid certain when I see interviews with them too, I'm watching them. I know they're not going to spoil shit. People keep asking them stupid questions, so sometimes I just turn it off. Like some interviewees are like, "Oh, they're like, can I ask?" And I just want to see your facial reactions. Like, is so and so in it? Is so and so? And I'm like, shut the fuck up, man. I don't want to hear. I don't even want to. Why do you even want to know? Like, I don't know. So anyway, I'm trying to avoid all spoilers, and I don't even want to see interviews where people are asking these dumb questions. In my opinion, sorry, dumb questions. In my opinion, because I don't want to see that shit. Tickets are out, guys. Can't wait to watch it. There's been a couple of new little teasers that they've thrown out there with the ticket things, which I can't wait for this movie.
Yeah, so very excited, very excited.
Yeah, man. So, all right, Kevin Feige is trying to convince Bob Iger, whatever his name is, about Internals 2. So that movie was, in my opinion, wasn't great. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't really care about the characters. I don't really care if they show up. If they don't do Eternals 2, I wouldn't really care about it. But I think Bob, because of his decision and the flops that Marvel's been bringing out, he's been a lot more strict on what's coming out. The problem with Bob is, in my opinion, or what I think is, Kevin knows. Kevin knows where he's trying to take the story. He's been the mastermind behind the whole thing, right? Because there's been a lot of flops, which obviously have gone through Kevin, Bob's probably, when someone does amazing, everyone loves him. And the moment there's a couple of flops, it's like, nah, I don't know if I could trust you anymore because you made a lot of bad decisions. Now, yes, let's be real. There's been a lot of bad decisions that come out and box offices are dropped and whatnot. But maybe, if Kevin's trying to convince Bob about Eternals 2, maybe there's a whole cosmic world that he's trying to convince him, say, I need this film to happen because it introduces a whole lot of cosmic shit, which we're going to get to into the future. You know what I mean? Because that's where the universe is going to take us eventually. So anyway, trying to convince him about that. Hawkeye season 2 apparently is happening.
Yeah, boy.
So I'm genuinely interested because I like Jeremy what's his name? Jeremy Renner. Yeah. I'm a fan of his. I'm glad he got better. I'm glad, he went through some serious shit with the snowplow and whatnot, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he's recovered. Hawkeye's one of the original Avengers. It's great to see more of him, I have to be honest with you.
Definitely.
Even though he's passing it on the mantle to the Kate Bishop, but I'm sure he's going to be in it. And then WandaVision season 2, apparently it's going to be the first show to get the sequel in 2026.
Okay.
So I'll be interested to see what happens with WandaVision. Wanda's not dead. I think in Agatha Knows It All, like they might touch on her being dead. But I think something's gonna happen. She's gonna come back, or she's not really dead, or something. You can't kill her off, man. I keep saying this, right? I've said this before. You're trying to push this agenda of female superheroes and all this sort of shit. You had the best female built-up superhero character, and the most powerfulest one in the MCU, and you killed her off. That was the most dumb. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you really trying to build female superheroes, or are you trying to just shit all over them? Like, what? Come on, guys, let's be real. Like, you had the best one and you killed her off. I don't think she's dead. That you could build on her so much. So I'm looking forward to more Wonder to come back. That was it.
Same. I had Vision's got his one coming out as well.
Yes, because he's still out there in the world. There's so much things. I think with this whole MCU universe, there's so much things that's happened and they haven't touched on. And it's kind of like, come on, guys, you're losing the plot. There's still a fucking sentient being in the Indian Ocean that no one's ever talked about. It's like, come on, guys, like that's an Avengers level threat. Go check it out. No one ain't said shit. Anyway. What else? All right, well, that's what I had for the comic book stuff. Let's move on to other movie news. Like I mentioned earlier, Into the Spider-Verse, David Callahma to write the next Godzilla and Kong. Hopefully he writes a monster movie and not a human movie. Street Fighter movie. So you mentioned that earlier one. I didn't even know they're doing a real live action, actually. I didn't even know. And I'm really excited about this, man. Considering the technology, considering some of the video game to movie transitions that they've had have been quite fantastic recently. Well, not movies, shows. They've been shows because you had a lot of time to express, because video games are long form content. So to put it in a movie might be difficult. I wish they'd done a show. I feel like a Netflix show or an Amazon show that might have been better, but there's excitement there, man, for Street Fighter. So yeah, I didn't know they do that, but the new logo came out, right?
Yeah, so they got the new logo, so it's probably in production. Listen, bro, and some people are going to be like, Kibbs, what you chat about? The animation that came out a couple of, was it 30 years ago? Or 40 years ago, 30 years ago, which you shared a clip recently. But the anime is still to this day one of the best things ever.
by far.
And by far. And then, listen, man, it's one of my guilty pleasures, but Jean-Claude Van Damme's Street Fighter is still there, bro. It's still one of those rewatchable movies
It is
that I can
actually.
enjoy it and just, bro. I could watch that than anything that's come out in cinema, like other movies, like Godzilla. I'd rather put that if they were in front of me. I'd watch Street Fighter, bro.
You know what? 100%. If I had to pick out a Kong and Godzilla versus Street Fighter, I'll watch that Street Fighter. You're right. It's a guilty pleasure by far because,
Yeah,
man, they got the costume designs on point, man. I don't care.
bro.
That
Yeah,
was the
bro. He
first
even did
thing.
the little flip kick in there as well.
Yeah, man.
Bro, I don't care, bro. Even his emotional speech about going to kick Bison's ass. I love it, bro. That movie is great, bro. It's still one of my favorites, bro. I don't know why, but Ash was talking about it as well. That feeling of 80s and 90s movies, nostalgia. It's just still there, bro. Like it still lets me enjoy that.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? Man, we might have to do that as a retro movie review because you know what? It is enjoyable and it's easy to watch and it's full of cheese. I already know what to expect, but man, there's something about it that is awesome because it worked back then, man. I feel like it worked. Those movies worked back then.
Yeah.
But now it just wouldn't work, man. So I'm really looking for let's see. I'm looking forward to what they're gonna do. I just feel like you can't make a cheesy one because that won't work now. So you have to do it right. You have to do it justice by the game. You have to get,
Exactly.
the movement, the martial arts, the story. You got to get that on point now. So let's see. A movie's tough. I think a movie's tough because you're gonna probably base it around one character. Why not make it a show? Why not make it a show where you can explore different characters and have time to really express stories and characters. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
No,
Um,
exactly, man. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Let's see how, like we live in a day and era now where we didn't know what was coming out, when it was going to come out, and we wouldn't see sneak peeks. Trailers were like, go back to our old retro trailer reactions, which I'll bring some of them back. They were basic, man. But you watch the movie and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. So like, I feel like less is more because now, and this is just me personally regarding cinema, and it's probably because I'm getting old. I am getting old. There's far too much excitement around stuff where we're seeing too much stuff now. So it's like, how do you maintain a good amount? And you're right, it's staying away from, like, I stay away from interviews, I stay away from any sneak peeks or TV spots now where before I'd want to watch everything. So yeah, man, we got loads to come. Loads to come.
Loads to come. Well, last one for the news. Lord of War sequel is happening with Nicolas Cage and Bill Skarsgård. So Nicolas
Oh
Cage is going to
wow.
be
Okay.
replaying his role, and he's going to be joined by Bill Skarsgård, who after Boy Kills World and he was in Dune and he was in John Wick. I'm he's on my radar. Put it that way. So I'm a fan of his. And I like to see him in more stuff. So that's another one. That's all I had for the news, actually. So was there anything else that you had? Anything I missed?
No, nothing else, bro.
All right, well let's finish off with retro movie reviews, and this week we're going to talk about Armour of God 1986 Jackie Chan classic movie, man.
Boom.
I was thinking of a movie to watch. This one popped up, and it's an absolute classic. It's one of the ones where he does I wouldn't say one of the most dangerous stunts, but he almost died in this one where he tried to jump from onto a tree. He dropped down and he smashed his head. It was I think he says it as one of the most dangerous ones because he smashed his head, man. That was one of the most dangerous ones that he's done. But this movie, Jackie Chan obviously in his prime, the martial arts, the characteristics of Jackie Chan, the animation of Jackie Chan, absolutely fantastic, man. You see stuff again. I feel like in these movies, you see stuff that was ahead of his time. And I'm talking about the acrobatics, the parkour. You know, like when I say the parkour from a Jackie Chan style, man. I mean, you didn't get, where are you, man? Outside.
Yeah, bro. Listen, one of the light bulbs in the car went, and I got pulled over by the Ulis the other day, so I have to change it. So,
Oh, I was gonna say where the kids at. But okay. But yeah, look, I mean, listen, this movie, 1986, of course, like in the beginning, but he goes to this like indigenous African nation to steal some armor of God, a sword of the armor of God. Basically, the movie's called Armor of God. There's certain armor parts, five
yeah.
pieces, and basically there's this fundamental fucking whack job group, which or whatever, that wants it because they believe that it's gonna bring back some shit, whatever, for power and everything. Anyway, he is some Jackie goes to this in the beginning. It starts off, he goes to this African nation to steal the sword. Fucking hell, but some of the some of the how do I pull it, bro? The tin and the noises that they dubbed was just like, wow, this is bad, man. You can't do this shit now. It was so bad. It was so wrong.
You know,
But
it's funny you say that. That is a film I saw a couple of weeks ago because it's on Amazon, that Freeview, and I popped it on and I was like, that is some, that intro, bro, Jaggers and everything else.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jager's out, sound effects. It was just bad. It was just bad. But I mean, when I say bad, it was back then. But the scene was fantastic. The acrobatics from and the comedy and everything from Jackie was absolutely amazing, bro. And then you know, just throughout the movie, I mean, like he's always been in like initial like again ahead of his time. And even the cars he drives, the Mitsubishi, like there was a scene where he's getting chased, where they're getting chased by the car, and his Mitsubishi, it's almost like Batman Dark Knight, you know, when his car gets exploded, and then it turns into the motorcycle. I'm like, man, shit, they got that from Armor of God. Obviously they didn't, but maybe you never know because that's what happens in the movie. I'm like, this
It
is
does. It
so,
turns into like a two-wheeler, isn't it?
yeah, little two-wheeler thing. And I was like, this is awesome. But again, the martial arts, bro, that last scene where he fights them four chicks, just absolutely fantastic, bro. He's so good when he's on.
Yeah, bro. So good. So good.
Wicked. I remember just and I think he was a big oh man, such a legend with these movies. But 80s history, I know in the West we knew our Stallone, we knew our Arnold Schwarzenegger, we knew our Van Dammes and whatnot. But you know, in Hong Kong cinema, yes, we had Chow Yun-fat have it with the gun martial arts and whatnot. Jackie Chan, man, just revolutionized the martial art game. Like when you're talking about the John Wick, and I know that's gun fu, but there's a lot of martial art aspects to it as well. When you're talking about, you know, Tony Jaa, he was influenced by Jackie Chan. Like this movie just brought back so much memories, man. And Jackie Chan's just in that time, man, the comedic action that he did was so lovable, man. He was such a lovable character. Just amazing. I really loved it. You know, the stories are simple. You know, they're not, you know, they're nothing amazing. But it had what's her name, Lola Fauna in it as well, who's that hottie who was in Wolves on Mills and whatnot. So she's been in a few of the movies, but man, fantastic. I geek out over his martial arts, his movements, just using everything as a weapon, just like you know, jumping from you know stairs to the next level up and down and whatever, man. Just absolutely fantastic. But yeah, what else, man? I mean, he made the villains four female fighters who were badass fighters and whatnot. Some of them, one of them looked like a dude. I think some of them were dudes when they
Now,
actually
some of them
fighting
were
together.
dudes when they were
Yeah,
getting when they were actually fighting.
yeah, and the
Some of
stunts
them
that
were
they went
dudes.
through. Yeah, like when some of them will get kicked, like beaten and whatnot. I go they you could see that they were dudes and whatnot. But that's cool. It's okay, no problem. You know, he didn't want to hurt the women. But the fact is, the antagonists, the bad guys, or the main four people he had to fight were women. Women of color, in fact. So, you know, if you want to put that out there. What else about this movie, man? What else?
It's the
Bro,
wrong bulb.
if you're a Jackie Chan fan, I can't, you know, you cannot not watch this movie, right? You know what I'm saying? If you're a Jackie Chan fan, you have to go watch this movie, or you have to go back and watch it. The stunts again, some of the best that he's done in his career, and one of the most dangerous ones, I guess. Yeah, man, that was my thoughts. That was my thoughts. Just pure excitement, pure excitement. There was no looking at my phone on this movie like I did with Kong and Godzilla. There was all just in 100% and enjoying this movie. And that's what these old school movies do. And that's what Jackie Chan is able to do on the screen. Just keep you engaged. But yeah, Kibbs, any other thoughts on this movie?
Nah, listen, bro. Like it was. Oh shit! Just licked the fucking door. Oh man, damn.
No.
Oh shit! Sorry, guys. Oh man, I don't miss working on cars, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That fucked me up. Oh man, hit me in the shin as well, motherfucker. Sorry,
Oh,
guys.
Los. You know
Swearing
what, bro? I
games.
wouldn't even know how to change a bulb on my car. Like with the new cars, the old cars, we used to tear it apart, take the screw out, change it. But I wouldn't even know how to do it on my car. Like that's how crazy it is with these new cars.
Nah, yeah, bro. On new cars, nah, forget it, bro. That's stress in itself. So luckily, my car's still old, bro. So I'm able to do some of it, but it is still a ball ache. Like some of these cars, man, they're not built like the Nova.
Mm.
You could just take it apart, put it back together. You got
That's
enough
what we
space.
did.
Like
Yeah.
it's tight, bro. Like they've used up all the space in this to fucking confuse you even more and fuck you up in the process. Sorry, guys, for the oh shit, did I break it? Mess you up even more. But it is what it is. I'm glad that I'm still confident enough to get it done. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. With an old car, I think so, man. With a new car, man. Yeah. But I mean, we still really just kind of. Anyway, well, man, we were talking about retro movie reviews. And then we got into cars. Anything
Sorry,
else
sorry.
on Armour of God? Nothing else.
No, nothing else, nothing else, nothing else on that. I think it's for the film it is, and for what it does, and some of the best martial arts fighting sequences to this day. Still, bro, it still stands strong. I think in the action scene, as you said. So, nah, 100% awesome retro review today for that one because I saw it. I did. Yeah, funny enough that you watched that because I only watched it a couple of weeks ago and I put it on in the background, but I didn't realize that I think I was looking after the kids and then I said, oh, you know what? I'm gonna watch this movie and then I realized it's got some basicness in it and then I watched it that night after. But yeah, still a good film, bro, to this day.
Awesome. Guys, if you haven't seen it, please check it out. Great movie. If you're a Jackie Chan fan, then actually if you're a Jackie Chan fan, I'm sure you've seen it, put it that way. All right, cool. Well, guys, that was this week's retro movie review. Again, as always, if you have any suggestions on what we can watch, let us know. I'm thinking the original Mad Max, just considering, Furiosa and stuff coming out this week. So I might check that out this weekend. And that's it for this week's show, guy, man. You got the shows this week. Oh, fucking hell. Let's start that again. And that's it for this week's show, guys. Anything, Kibla, why don't you take us out, bro?
Listen, guys, as always, thank you for the love and support on the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing. Sorry you guys didn't get to see my face most of the time. I was multitasking and looking after two kids at the same time. And then now trying to sort out a light bulb on the car. But listen, follow us on all our social media platforms. Check out our recent episode, our Geek Out episodes with showrunners and writer Julia and Eric Leeward. Check out Hijabi Who episode as well. Honestly, man, we've got a lot of love recently, which throws me off sometimes where, we get to do these amazing things. And I'm still thankful and grateful I get to it. But, the main reason is us sending out a positive message out there as well. So Free Palestine, guys, donate to the links in our bios. And yeah, man, have a good
All right.
start to the week. Have a good start to the week. We'll catch up.
Peace.